All right, so welcome to this week's Unikernel application spotlight. This week we're looking at Ladder. Ladder is a self-hosted alternative to 12-foot IO, 1-foot IO, yada yada. Basically, it's a proxy that removes CORS headers and does other modification of the content. Why? Well, if you've ever gone to like Hacker News and you see some like non-hacker article posted there, uh, you, you you know some of these go to like news websites, and what you'll see, especially like Dang will do, is they'll put it into archive.is, and it does the same thing. Basically, it removes some paywall restrictions on some websites. So that's one use. But really, this is just kind of a interceptor that you can make lots of different modifications. And so there's other use cases besides reading free news articles. Um, you can use that as a bookmark. So it's a handy little way to just like if you're just browsing, you can immediately kind of do it. And then there's all these different envars that you can set, and then you can also set these rule sets. So the rule sets can get pretty extensive. You can extend custom JavaScript. You can set it by the domain. So like maybe you want some things on certain domains like BSBL. Yeah, I don't speak German. But and then all this other stuff you can modify. Your request params and so forth. You can hook it up to Flare Solver, which basically does it's yet another kind of proxy for dealing with Cloudflare restrictions. And so it's that sort of tooling. It is written in Go. Yeah, and pretty dead simple. You could throw this on like one of those Stardust instances that cost what, like 20 cents a month or whatever, and just have it running as a unikernel. That's where unikernel deployment would really shine for projects like this, where it's like you want it running, but you don't really want to share it on some random box because maybe you get like copy fill or dirty frag, and you just don't want to have to deal with that crap. So you throw this up on a unikernel on Scaleway or something for 20 cents and call it done. Uh, anyways, enough of me chatting. This is the project in a package you can download. We'll pop in the shell. Pretty straightforward. As you can see, it uses Fiber for the Go web server. I'm on a Mac, so I'm just setting x86. Most of my packages are x86 because that's the environment they're typically going to. But it's pretty easy to do it for ARM too. I mean, Go's got great cross building. Let's see it in action. So I've got two articles. This is Atlantic. I'm not really an Atlantic reader, by the way. I just wanted to show you what this looks like. But talk about Marco Rubio, and we're scrolling down. It says, hey, start a free trial, subscribe, yada, and then it cuts off the article. However, running it through the proxy, as you can see, just locally, we get the full article. Why is that? Is because the way that the requests are being made, they're looking at a host of different things. CORS is one, but there's browser fingerprinting going on. There's TLS fingerprinting going on. Your browser can actually give you lots of different data about somebody. Not like personally identifying data, but it gives a good indication as to whether you're a human or a bot. So like TLS, for instance, each browser might have a different TLS version. Like Chrome versus Firefox, for instance. It might have a different compression library being used. You could be using like Brotli or some other compression library that leaves a fingerprint when the request is made, because during the SSL handshake, because everything's going across, right? There's fingerprints that are left there. And so that's actually how a lot of the anti-bot sort of stuff works today. And conversely, a lot of this stuff that wants to prove that you're a human. It's kind of stupid, but it actually is pretty effective for what these websites want to do. Now, like I said, if we're looking at Wall Street Journal in this case, it doesn't work, right? So yeah, it's kind of hit or miss there. But like I said, there's many other use cases, and this is trivial to deploy as a very small unikernel. So this is ladder, a Go unikernel running on Nanos. Till next week.